Right, here we are at Sunnybrow. I've just had a phone call off my mate again, saying that the police have just been around the house. That's 11 o'clock at night, half 11 now. And they now, first of all, they were saying that they just wanted a word of us and it was private. They've been four times now. This is the fifth time they've been to the house. Now they're telling me that I am wanted, but they didn't have a warrant for me. So I'm just going to phone up Michael here now, who's ex-police officer, just sort of see what he's got to say about it, see what he thinks about what's going down. Hey, Michael, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, the police have been around the house now. This is the fifth time, eh? So they haven't got a warrant or anything. So I'm wondering what the hell's going on. Whether they, because they know I'm obviously putting videos up and telling them that I'm going to London to try and stop the sale of this house of Glynis's. So they obviously know I'm down there. They've said to me, mate, twice now that, oh, is he up in Sunnybrow? And they do know I'm up here because the police up here, they've told them who I am. And they haven't attempted to arrest us or anything like that. So I don't understand why the police in Darlington are coming to my house. What can I do about this? Because I feel like I'm being harassed now. It's the same as when the police followed me on the tube station, and then three lots of police came up to me individually in sets in pairs, and then one of them on his own. I just think it's all a bit dodgy. I think they're trying to intimidate me in some way. Am I feeling right, or is that right that the police can just turn up all them times and they haven't even got a warrant for my arrest or anything?
Right. There's a number of issues that come here. One of them, if you're wanted for something, it's normally for an offence that you've committed. If you haven't committed any offences,
Yeah.
then they should not be coming around saying, oh, you're wanted, when in fact they know you're not.
Yeah.
Now, there was a law passed that came to force on the 13th of April this year called the Criminal Justice in Courts Act 2015. Specifically, there is a section that applies to police officers and also prison officers and certain officers of the National Crime Agency. It's called Section 26, which is corrupt or improper exercise of police powers. Now, the sort of behaviour that you're describing would fall within Section 26. Basically, they are not allowed to threaten to arrest you, and they've got no grounds in law for doing so, or intimidate you in that way. Now, if they're caught doing it, or it's proven they're doing it, then they can face up to 14 years in prison.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of police officers don't know about this for some reason, but when police officers are told about it, it's a big sort of wake-up call to them. They're beginning to realise that the public have found out about this piece of legislation.
Yeah.
That can send them to prison for up to 14 years. And I'll tell you something, they are scared.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I know this about the section 26, but I'm wondering what I can do because, the police are ignoring the calls of Glynis when she had nearly, between £400 and £600 worth of her goods stolen out the garden of the house, and we called the police, and they wouldn't come and they wouldn't list a crime. And they wouldn't report it as a crime. They just let it go. Now, the next door neighbours since then have told us that, we saw the police a couple of days ago at the next door neighbour's house for supposedly pinching flowers out of somebody else's garden, which turned out to be a load of rubbish, and she never got charged. But they've got her on bail now for a week's time. And what's happening is, when she came out, we started talking to her in the garden, and she was saying that when they got her down the police station, they weren't asking anything about the plants and things. They was going on about who was coming in next door. Now, next door to her house is Glynis's daughter's house, and this is what we're using as HQ, for doing all the videos and stuff, and doing all the paperwork and the for the appeal. And yeah, the next door neighbour is being asked questions about who's coming in and out of the house. So they've kind of arrested her, kept her for 2 hours, scaring the hell out of her, then questioning her about what's going on next door rather than what's going on with these plants, these so-called flowers that she was supposed to have stolen, which turned out to be a load of rubbish anyway, like I say. You know, it's like they're starting to target other people now. The lady next door also told us that the police said to her that if they get any calls off the Craggs family, they are not allowed to respond anywhere, and that's coming from their superiors. Now, that to me is not being a police officer at all. You know, it's protecting the corporates, doing the people out of who they're supposed to be protecting. It seems to me like the system, for what it was built for, and people fought for in 2 world wars, is collapsing around us. When you can't even phone the police up to report a crime anymore, it's absolutely bloody outrageous. So, like, where do we stand in what we can do about this? The police come into the house. They've got the woman next door in to see what she knew about, you know, what was going on in here. It's like we're being targeted by the local police. How can we deal with it, do you think?
Right. What you've just described is more breaches of Section 26 of the Criminal Justice and Courts Act. But legally, the arrest of the neighbour was illegal. If what all you're doing in a house is preparing things like court papers or things like that, that's not an offence. That could also amount to attempting to pervert the course of justice. You intimidate witnesses to any who are involved in any potential court proceedings. That is a serious criminal offence. That's attempting to pervert the course of justice. That carries a maximum penalty of up to life imprisonment.
Yeah.
As for the police saying they will not respond to emergency calls from a particular, unless there is evidence and unless they can prove that there is a history of vexatious or malicious hoax calls to the police, that is a serious breach of duty, and again, it's a breach of Section 26. With regard to harassment, there are a number of provisions in English law that we can use to deal with it. One of them is the Public Order Act. As they come round hassling you, the Section 4 and Section 5, causing alarm, distress or harassment, that's where it's immediate. There is another provision under a piece of legislation called the Protection from Harassment Act 1997.
Yeah.
They only did do that on a minimum of 2 occasions. In practice, 3 is better. There is a provision under Section 3 whereby you can go to the county courts and apply for an emergency injunction against them to say, right, you will desist from doing this. And if they breach those injunctions, they can be sent to prison for up to 5 years or be fined without